Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Okay, hello everyone. So today me, Muhammad Hilmi Badrahman, will be the host of today Weekend English Talk with Mr. Difaul with the theme exciting and inspirational stories to get scholarship to study in Turkey. So without a lot of chit chat, let's just invite Mr. Difaul. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Afwan, there is a bit problem about the connection, but we're back and let's just call Mr. That Difaul Hub. Oh, okay.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, can you hear my sound? Can you hear? Can
Yes,
you hear
I
me?
can hear you clearly. Yes.
Okay,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. It's actually just it's very early here in Turkey. It's
Oh,
just about to enter the Fajr.
oh.
Yeah,
So what time is right now at
right
Turkey?
now it's 6:30, about 6:30.
6:30. Oh, and Fajr is
Just now, 6:30.
uh
The adhan
oh,
just completed.
oh, okay then.
It's nice.
So, okay, so there's still Fajr. I just want to ask you, have you had breakfast? I'm sorry.
Of course, I hadn't.
Oh, you had?
I haven't had
Oh,
breakfast
haven't.
before.
Okay.
I haven't breakfast.
Yeah. What are the weather conditions there?
It's quite cold. It's actually, let me see. It's 12 degrees.
12 degrees. Oh,
Yeah.
very cold.
I heard that Balikpapan is quite hot, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's
What
hot
about
right
now?
now. Yes, it's hot. So, and I even still feel sweat after being in house and turn on air conditioner, but I still feel it's hot here.
Yeah, I understand, and I think it has 5 hours different from my time, right?
Wait, you're 6:30, so yeah, in here is 11:30. You
Yeah,
can
it's
say like
five.
that.
Yeah, it's about to her.
Okay. Okay. Well, do you have something to say maybe before we start like our Q&A? Maybe you have something like some material. You can just straight to it.
Okay then.
Uh,
Okay,
the
let
time
me
is yours.
introduce myself first. My name is Difaul, and now I'm studying a master degree in economics at Istanbul University. And before that, I was in Istanbul Sabahat in Zaim I was taking international trade and finance, and both of them are in English. So that's actually rare in Turkey because most of the degrees here are in Turkish. So currently, I can speak English because I was studying in English, and I can speak Turkish because I need to speak Turkish in order to live here. Because here, the Turkish people are worse than Indonesian in terms of foreign language. They cannot speak another language at all. Like in Indonesia, even our grandmother, our people on the street can speak a little bit English. Like if we if someone asks them, who are you, they can answer it. But here in Turkey, they cannot answer it at all. Like the people who can speak English actually is just around the education, like they are in university. Even that is so little.
Oh,
So it's studying Turkish language beforehand is a must. And I can speak Arabic because I was studying in Ma'had in Santren, like you guys.
oh,
Uh, yeah, and I can speak a little bit German, Japanese, and of course Indonesian.
so
Okay,
how many languages did
yeah.
you can?
So the thing I want to talk about here is how we can prepare ourselves to be able to study abroad. The first thing is you need to prepare your language. It's a, it's just logical because you're not going to study abroad in Indonesian. It's impossible unless you're studying Indonesian language as your major. But even that, you are going to study it in another language. I mean, studying Indonesian maybe in English or studying Indonesian in Korean or something like that. Before I was going to Turkey, I'm actually had something. I was studying in university in UMS, in Muhammadiyah University in Solo, in Surakarta. In that period, I was studying double degree. I was supposed to study 2 years in UMS and 2 years in Korea, but I was moving to Turkey. So I think I have a quite a bit experience in preparing to study in abroad. So uh, what Indonesian misunderstood these times are they were thinking that language is not that important to study to study abroad. Even the people that going to study in like in Misr, in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, actually most of them are not very proficient in Arabic. That's become the problem. Even here in Turkey, most of my friends that studying in Turkish are struggling right now. They have very low, you know, grades. Sometimes their cumulative grade are just 2 point something, or even worse, like 1 point something. So the thing is, you need to prepare your language first beforehand. I see that IDN is very good at learning those things. I mean, they can speak English, they can speak Arabic, I guess. So it's not going to be a problem for you guys. Uh, Actually, I also have something that called berkas sakti. Berkas sakti is you can prepare this thing and you can like go everywhere around the world, even in England or something like that. How can I present my screen? Let me see.
You can click the present icon below.
File from your computer. Okay, let me read it for you guys. It's your photo, your biometric photo. You know biometric photo, right? It's like pas photo in Indonesia.
Oh,
It's your face without smiling or something like that, and your degrees, your diploma, and you need to translate it to English with what is it called in Indonesian? Tersumpah, and your transcript, of course, motivation letter, and recommendation letter, and your passport. That's it. You can check all the universities of in the internet. Their websites are usually have a link. That link usually, you in that website you have to find the admission link, and after that you can enter all your data and the documents that I mentioned before, and that's it. You'll be waiting for the calling, and you can go to anywhere around the world, even in Mexico, even to Mexico. But you have to be at least like if you wanted to go to good university, at least you have to have like 8 for your average, and that's it. 8 is not hard, right? And what else I'm going to talk about? Okay, there are actually many good university in Turkey, and for example, my university, Istanbul University, is actually the oldest university in Turkey. It was founded by Fatih Muhammad Al Fatih. You know him? Yeah. The first thing that he did after conquering the Constantinople is building a university and a market, and that university became Istanbul University in 14 something, in 14th century. So it's uh, like very old, the oldest university in Indonesia. Like you University of Indonesia, I think is just like 19 or 18th century. So it's older by far, like hundreds years. And if you want to study social sciences, you can go to Boğaziçi University, or Boğaziçi University is in Turkish. If it's in English, it's Bosporus. If it's in Latin, mm, it's Bosporus University. It was actually an American university before, but it's nationalized by Turkish government. And if you want to study technical things, like you want to study machinery, things like that, Istanbul Technical University is the best thing for you if you can enter it. If you have any question, maybe we can interact with each other, so it will be, more beneficial to us.
Okay. So here I have some questions for you. So for the first is, what makes you study in Turkey?
Okay, what makes me study in Turkey? At first, before when I was in my bachelor degree, I was taking international trade and finance, and at that time, I think for that major, studying in Turkey is the best for me, because the location of Istanbul is like the heart of the world. Even Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yes, yes.
Napoleon Bonaparte once said that uh, if the world become one nation, Istanbul will be the capital.
Oh,
It's very strategic for international trade, because it is the gate between Asia and Europe. If you want to go to, yeah, in the past, it used to be very busy, and up until now, it's very busy. That's it. That's why I choose Turkey at the first, and why I'm choosing to study again here for master degree. Studying something like, actually today in Turkey, inflation is quite high, right? So studying why the economy is failing, things like that, why they are crumbling, is good for me. I can studying a case in reality. Yeah,
mm, okay.
yeah,
Uh,
and they have a nice weather.
okay. Next question is, how you can accomplish merit to study in Turkey?
What merit?
How you can accomplish made it to study in Turkey?
Okay, there is actually a lot of scholarships to get here. The first one, the most popular one is YTB, YTB or YTB in Turkish. Same with Indonesian, YTB. You can search in the internet Türkiye Bursları. It means Turkish scholarship. It's from the government. And you just have to enter all your documents there and they will select it from that documents. But it's quite hard because like thousand people from Indonesia are applying into the scholarship, but only like 100 or at most 200 students are accepted. And if you are lucky, you can get accepted, and you get a lot of benefits. Actually, you get free tickets, like plane ticket, airplane tickets for free when you are going to Turkey and you're going back to Indonesia, and you'll get money, pocket money every month for like for us for bachelor degree is around 1 million rupiah or 2 million rupiah, and all of them are free. You get accommodation, you are having free meal twice a day, so you're only paying for lunch. But if you are lucky, because actually, if you have high grades, you should enter the YTP. But it's free, You can enter all your documents and just forget about it. If you are lucky, you get accepted. And the other one is TDV. TDV in Turkish is from the Diyanet, or what is it called? Is from the Ministry of Religion of Turkey. But that scholarship is only for Diyanet majors. If you want to study Ilahiyat or studying religion, especially Islamic religion, you can apply that scholarship. But you'll have to be able to speak Turkish. That's why you will have a preparation before for a year, Turkish preparation school. And the last type of scholarship is the scholarship from the university. That's what I got, scholarship from the university. There's actually many things that can be considered in university scholarship. For example, if you like to play, what is it, e-sport. If you have something in e-sport, you'll get scholarship, really, because yeah, if you are good at it. I mean, you are like semi-pro players, you can get that scholarship. Or sports, you are an athlete, you have good grades, just apply for the university scholarship. For this university scholarship, you can learn about that in the websites of that university. I mean, if you want to enter, like for example, the private university, usually it's from private universities, not from public university. In my case, Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim, there is actually an exam every year, usually in August. You can fly to Turkey at that time. Taking that exam, you'll get 100% tuition free if you have good grades. There is another scholarship like Hafiz scholarship. Yeah, if you have memorized 30 juz of Quran, you'll get scholarship from Fatih Sultan Mehmet, but only studying in Ilahiyat. Yeah, that's all the scholarship. If you are why should I take a scholarship? I'm rich. I have rich parents. My parents will get me scholarship. You can just apply to any university in Turkey and then go here by yourself, you know, funding the all the things by yourself. That's actually quite easy. Yeah, and Turkey is actually a lot cheaper than other countries. Even yeah, for example, for master degree, I'm only paying 5 million rupiah, 5 million rupiah per semester. So in UGM in Jogja, for 3 semesters, you have to pay like 65 million rupiah for master degree. So the difference is quite a lot. Even if you want to study in Germany, okay, the public university are free, but at least if you want to live there, you need to pay 15 million per month just to live, just to eat and sleep. 15 million per month. But you guys are rich, right? It's quite easy, right?
Don't say that. Okay, so you get scholarship from university, right?
Yep.
But you still pay, so your scholarship is not like full everything free.
Only the tuition fee, I guess. I have to live by myself. I mean,
Oh,
eating
okay.
and renting a place to sleep.
Mm,
Yeah, like
okay.
paying the electricity bills, something like that.
Okay. So before moving to the next question, I want to announce to the audience at YouTube that you can also ask question to Mr. Idat Difaul. You can write your best question in the comments column, and for 3 viewers with the best question, will get prize from our commit. Okay, so write as much best question, right? Write as much question as you want. Okay. So next question is, what is your best experience when study in Turkey?
Okay, my the best thing here, I think, is that the fact that Istanbul is the gate of, I mean, the gate of Europe, the gate of Indonesia to Asia. I met a lot of people here. I mean, like big people that it's impossible for me to meet if I was studying in Jakarta or even in some other countries, because all the big people, you know, like our representative, I mean DPR, or like many big people, if they are going to travel to Europe, usually they are stopping in Istanbul. I mean, they have to transit here because you know the plane cannot fly that far. They have to refuel. So I met several people here, like the you know the representatives like Haidar Nasir and many big people, like without anything, like they just come to Istanbul, contact our organization. I mean, we have PPI, right? It's student organization here, student associations. They contact us and they just said, I want to meet you guys. I want to meet the students. I want to meet the students here in Istanbul. Let's meet here. And then we go to that place. We are eating for free. They paid they paid all of our meals because you know they are rich. And we meet them. We talk and we have some advices that is very beneficial for us. And sometimes they even call us for something like, can you guide us? Can you get us around Istanbul so we have something to do for 16 hours because I have a layover. I have transit time this long. I need to go around so I'm not getting bored. And we get paid like a lot. That's that's quite a good experience. We are walking through Istanbul, and then we got advices. We got their contacts. So after graduating from our university, we can like have a connection to that person. Uh, Even they like, I will be back again this summer or something like that. I will be back with my family. Let me call you again, and we can go around Turkey, walk around. That's one of the best experience. And for some another thing is we get good teachers. Like they are actually the writer of a book that we are studying. So
Oh,
that's good, right?
oh yeah.
They are like, for example, I was taking Islamic economics in my bachelor degree, and the teacher of that major, no, not major, the teacher of that, what was it? Yeah, the teacher of Islamic economics at that time is actually the one of the most famous Islamic economists in the world. So that's also a good point. Like if you want to study outside, if we are studying in maybe Balikpapan, we have some book, and we don't even meet the writers. Here you can meet the writers. So that's one point.
Okay, so it's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting,
Okay,
right?
so the next question is, did you ever feel trouble during study in Turkey?
You mean like feeling down?
Yeah, maybe, or some difficulties that you
Yeah.
have to face.
Okay, we have some difficulties here, especially for Indonesian. The first thing is the weather. I mean, they have in Istanbul is compared to other cities is we have good weather. It's not too cold and it's not too hot in Istanbul. I mean, but for Indonesian it's still cold. Uh,
Hmm.
in winter we have like minus 10 degrees. So last year minus 10 degrees, and we have a snowstorm at that time. It's quite hard for us because at first you will be happy. Wow, it's snow. I never seen it in my life, but after a week, you are going to miss your country. I mean, I miss the heat. Please give me the heat. I need some warmth or something like that. And after the weather, if you study in other part of Turkey, in Caucasus part, like the eastern part of Turkey is very cold. At night, it could be, and winter, it could be minus 50 degrees. So you cannot go outside of your house at that time. Otherwise, you'll be frozen. Even sometimes there is actually like at the street there is dog frozen, died of frozen because of the cold. Yeah. So be careful if you are going to study in Turkey. After you are learning, the websites, see it at the maps where it's located.
Oh,
Because it's getting harder. If you are studying in Are, the border of Turkey, and that is actually very, you know, east of Turkey is quite cold. But there is 30 students there from Indonesia, 30 or something. They are from the Pesantrens. I don't know why they are there. Very cold. It's like Papua of Turkey.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You have to, if you want to study in Turkey, you need to really see the city where you want to study, because you're not going to, you don't want to study like in Indonesia, but you are studying in something remote, like you're studying in Papua or studying in Maluku. It's not that good, right? You want to study in Jogja or Jakarta.
Yes.
And another difficulty is the food. Maybe Turkish cuisine is quite famous around the world. They are delicious for them, but for us, they don't add so much. Uh, what is it called? Spices. It's not
Oh,
spicy at all. I mean, it's not spicy hot, but spices. Like they don't have, for us, they don't have any taste. Like hambar for
oh,
us. Yeah, that's another difficulty. And sometimes after these years, the Turkish people used to be very good, at very kind to foreigners, but nowadays, because the difficulties they are facing, the economy that they have, and because of the refugees,
mm,
we have a lot of refugees in Turkey from Syria, from Afghanistan. The tension around them is quite high right now. So you might, you know, face difficulties from them. Like they're not smiling to us anymore, but not all of them. Sometimes they are even giving us free food because we are studying here, not we are not refugees.
mm,
Yeah,
okay. But you can handle all the difficulties, right?
yeah, yeah. I've been here for 5 years.
Oh, oh, I just know that. Well, you take master degree.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
graduated from this. I was graduated from Turkey, and I was studying master right now.
oh, okay, okay, okay. Next question. Did you have to learn Turkish language to study in Turkey?
Yes, of course. If you want to live, you have to
Oh,
study Turkish. I mean, it's one of compulsory thing to do, but there is actually people that I know that cannot speak Turkish at all. Even after 5 years, 4 years, they cannot speak Turkish. But if you are, is especially if you are studying in public university. In public university, sometimes maybe the title will be studying in English, but actually the professors, the students there, it's not the professor actually, it's the students. If the majority of the class are Turkish, sometimes they are forcing the professor to speak in Turkish. They are, I mean, like, professor, can you explain it in Turkish? I don't understand. We cannot understand you in English. And the professors will start to speak in Turkish, and sometimes they forgot that we are exist if it's in public university. So if you cannot speak Turkish, it will be another challenging thing.
but
But it's very rare.
how about you? Your class using Turkish language or English?
Well, mostly in English, but sometimes the teachers are, they are happy to explain things in Turkish. So yeah, but I can speak Turkish, and it's a missed opportunity if you're not studying Turkish. Come on, you've been here for 5 years and you cannot speak Turkish.
Okay,
But yeah, the thing is, Turkish language is quite hard for Indonesian because we never hear the sound. We never interact with the language. I mean, for English, we can almost see it everywhere, almost hear something in English in our commercials, in our daily life in Indonesia. or Arabic, we are reading Quran. We are interacting with that language every day. But for Turkish, you'll never heard someone talk in Turkish, or even in the television or in YouTube. It's very rare for us to interact with the language. And the structures of Turkish language is different. I mean, English and Arabic have the same structures, and but the Turkish language is quite the opposite. I mean, all it's not the first thing is not the subject. Yeah, it will be hard for us, but it's not impossible to study. It just needs some, what is it, some time. You need to put some effort,
Okay.
otherwise you will never learn it.
Mm. So, Turkish language is commonly used to live in Turkey and not really used when you study there.
Yeah, for me, just for me.
Oh,
But most of us, most of Indonesians studying here, they're studying in Turkish. But for my recommendation,
mm,
for from my experience, if you want to have an easy life, easy studying life, please choose English. It's hard to study in Turkish, really. Like the people that are graduated from Turkish section, I mean the Turkish language majors, mostly they are very smart or very hardworking people, and they interact with Turkish people. The thing about Indonesian here in, I mean, in Turkey, they always together. That's the problem. They are always together. I mean, they are living in same house. They are going everywhere around together with Indonesians. That's why people cannot speak Turkish or even English, because every day they speak Indonesian to the campus in the class. They are just listening the teacher without knowing everything. They just hallucinating. That's why they are having bad grades. It's quite common
oh,
here, students from
but
Indonesia to have bad grades. Don't be like them.
okay, I will. Okay, the next question. What is the difference between the education system in Indonesia and Turkey?
Okay, the first thing that is different is the time. I mean, here in Turkey we have 4 years for elementary schools, 4 years for junior high school, and 4 years for senior high school. So 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. For us, it's 6 years, 3 years, 3 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I think I prefer the Turkish education system more because 5th grade is different than 4th grade of elementary school. The 5th grade of they are usually starting to get attracted with girls, and
Yeah.
they have different way of thinking way of thinking especially there is actually difference with the junior high school and senior high school. The 3rd grade of junior high school is more mature. That is the difference. I mean, the psychology is different. And we for the university we are using European credit system, so it's different. But I mean, in Indonesia we have SKS, right? SKS. We have European credit system. The difference is not that big, but difference is difference. And for some bachelor degrees, it's not compulsory for us to write a thesis, uh, scriptsy. In Indonesia, but we need to write a paper like almost every semester we are writing 5 or 6 papers, like maybe 12 papers if you are unlucky.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think for the writing skills, Turkish students are more superior than in Indonesia because in Indonesia we have some difficulties when we are writing the thesis, when we are writing the scriptsy, because we never write on our life, like from the first semester we never write something, and then at the end we have to write some, we have to write scriptsy. That's why people are not graduating for 2 years maybe or even 3 years because of scriptsy in Indonesia, because they are not used to be like they are not used to write something. That is the difference, I guess. And the thing is, in Turkey, the university expect us to be like to be mature. In Indonesia, the teachers will guide us through everything. They will tell us, you have to do this, you have to study like this, like everything is by guiding. But in Turkey you have to be mature, you have to understand that you have to do that by yourself. Yeah, that's the difference. Maybe that
so
is why the Indonesian are failing here.
oh,
It's failing very bad. Even someone I know have the grade, like have zero grade. Their accumulative grade is zero. I don't know what happened with them.
so okay. So if you can choose, which education system you think is better, Indonesia or Turkey?
Okay, if you have good language background, it's Turkey. But if you don't have that, I think Indonesian are better. I mean, you go here studying in foreign language and you don't understand that foreign language, it will be very bad. Even though the education system is good, if you don't understand what the teacher is saying, it's it's nothing. It's not good at all. So if you have good language background, go to other countries. I mean, you can go to Japan. My sister actually studying in Japan right now, and go to everywhere around the world. But you have to be, you have to put it in your mind that you have to be good at language. For example, in Japanese, you have to study. For example, you want to study economics. You have to study economics in Japanese. The writing will be different. The the many things will be different. I mean, for us it's neraca perdagangan, but in Japanese we don't know that. What is that? What will be the language? What will be the words? The words will be different. So that's it. You have to put it in your mind. If you're good at some language, go for it. But if you're not, I think studying in Indonesia is better for bachelor degree.
Okay.
For master degree, after you are mature enough, you have some skills, you can study outside. That is from my opinion.
Okay. So yeah, that's actually the last question from me. So now we head on to the question from the audience. So for the first, we have question from Sarah Hudia. Does the struggle, like the documents prep, homesick, the money worth the experience of studying in Turkey?
Okay, so does the struggle, like documents preparation, documents preparation is quite it's not hard, but it takes your effort. Like you have to translate all your documents to English, and it takes time, it takes money, and you're homesick. You're going to miss your hometown. You miss your your traditional food and the money. Of course, the money. Is it worth it? Well, I think it's worth it because for in my opinion, uh, I will not be like this in Indonesia. I mean, especially my languages will be, not, it will not be advanced enough. I mean, in Indonesia, I will be speaking in Indonesian every day, and I will not meet with Arab people, so I cannot practice my Arabic. I cannot practice my Turkish. So I think I get a lot of benefits from the experience. I think it's worth it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sarah Hudia, for your question. The next question came from Mukhliso Hafizoh 3D. Is Istanbul University has the major computer which related for next degree for IDN student?
Okay, for Istanbul University has the major computer. Of course, they have. They have,
Mm,
you know, the computer major. But if you want to study like in better university, I recommend you to study in what was it? Istanbul Technical University. In Istanbul Technical University, like for us, it's ITB, ITB.
Oh,
If you are talking about technique, we should go to ITB, right? Because we see that in ITBs, the technical major are more advanced than in Indonesia, University of Indonesia. I think that is the difference. If you want to study some more general, like they are good. We have good major in Istanbul University, but if you study in Istanbul Technical University, it's even better. I mean, the government projects, the and many things you can find in Istanbul Technical University.
okay. Okay, thank you, Mukhliso Hafizoh 3D, for your question. And then I think this is the last question from Muhammad Alfandri. What the requirement of English language score to have scholarship in Istanbul University, such IELTS or TOEFL score or other?
Okay, for the English requirement, actually, because of uh, because of Istanbul University is public university, they don't offer scholarships because they are already cheap. If you want to apply for scholarship, you need to apply it through other means. I mean, from the government. I mean, YTB, 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 the Türkiye Bursları. And for Türkiye Bursları, there is actually no requirements for English language score because there in YTB you need to compete with each other. I mean, there are thousands of people are applying for that scholarship. You need to be better than them. I mean, if they are if having the grade of, I mean, 100, like for TOEFL, like B2 level or intermediate level, you have to be better than them. That is the case. I mean, the better is better is better. If you have high score, it will be a plus for you. But for Turkish universities, at least you have to be intermediate level or B2 level. There is actually 5 levels in languages, right? According
Yes.
to European. standards: A1, A2,
Yes.
B1, B2, and C1. You have to be at least B2 to be able to enter the university. Like, you have to be able to speak Turkish if that at that level. You have to be able to speak English at that level if the medium of the major is in that language. For Istanbul University, actually, there is not a lot of major taught in English. For example, my department, Sosial Bilimler Institute or Social Science Institute, there are majors. There are many majors, right? For example, Islamic economics and international trade and finance, many things. But the only major that I see have an English medium is my major, which is economics. But for other institute, maybe there is English language, but most of the majors here in Istanbul University are taught in Turkish. So you have to, if you don't speak Turkish before, you have to enter the preparation school, the preparation language. It's for a year, but you need to struggle a little bit there, because studying a language in a year is not enough for you to be able to, you know, compete with the native speakers. So you have to put an effort there, because most of Indonesian students are not putting enough effort in preparation school. They just, oh, I was in prep school. I'm in prep school now. I have freedom. So they are just walking around Turkey, even going to Europe, and that's why they are failing. So B2 it is for the English.
Okay, thank you for Muhammad Alfandi for your question. And I think that's the last question, and it's also the end of um, this conversation. But I want to ask you one thing. Maybe you have something you want to say to those people, those young generations that study abroad, especially to Turkey, maybe.
Okay, for especially for IDN students, if you want to study abroad, you have to gather all the information from now, like the requirements, especially the younger students. You need to gather them from now. Like, okay, I'm going to study in Japan. I'm going to study in Norway. I'm going to study in England or something like that, or even in many countries in the world. You have to gather all the information from now, and after you gather them, you you study it. I mean, for example, okay, I'm going to Japan. I need to study. The medium will be in Japanese. You have to start the preparation from now. Okay, I will buy some books in in Japanese language. I will have to have a good grade from now. The preparation takes time. If you want to be able to be, you want to be successful in getting scholarships, the preparation will start from now. It's not from the third grade or the last grade of your, school. From now, you gather the informations, all the information that needed. It's easy now. You can get it all from the internet. It's harder for us that are living back then. I mean, the old people are having struggle, to gather the they don't have internet. Come on, and prepare it from now. Study harder than usual, and you'll get any scores if you want, even to Harvard or something like that. Yeah, it's easy. You have to prepare, struggle a bit, and after you getting older, you'll reap the benefits. I mean, after you are 40, after you are 30, you will thinking looking back at your time. Oh, I did a good job back then. That's it.
Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Uh, our conversation about exciting and inspirational stories to get scholarship to study in Turkey with Mr. That Difaul. It's such a pleasure to meet you, and I hope maybe we can like talk more in another time about this. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. That, for
You're
your
welcome.
time. I think it's subuh time there, right?
Yeah, yeah. I need to pray subuh right
And
now
and
before
here
the
is
sunrise.
yeah, and here is zuhur time. So I think
Okay.
that's